Hello and welcome. Carol sends her apologies. This is the unbearable lightness of Robert Garnham. You know, I was thinking the other day, people are still incredibly surprised when they discover that I'm homosexual. I suppose it's because I'm so manly and masculine and macho and something of a hard nut. I think basically it's because I'm a stud. 1 in 10. That's the figure that's bandied around. It's okay for you gay people, my straight friends always say. It's easy for you to find a date. You're 1 in 10. Gay men are 1 in 10. Well, guess what? I'm that 1 in 10. So that means I'm not actually 1 in 10. For me, I'm 1 in 20. But it's actually only 1 in 40 if you factor in the lesbians. And figure that I won't find 3/4 of the 1 in 40 attractive. It's actually more like 1 in 160. Figure that 3/4 of those won't find me attractive. Now we're looking at 1 in 320. Figure that half of those might not be out the closet yet. It's now 1 in 640. Some will already be in a relationship, so it's 1 in 1280. Some would be too busy baking quiches, 1 in 2560. And some of them will have seen my act, so now we're at 1 in 2567. So the next time someone says to you, hey, you're 1 in 10, tell them to bugger off with their 1 in 10 crap. Okay, so this poem doesn't have a title yet, just called Poem. Another date, another first date. I feel like a veteran. The same old routine of meet and greet, the excitement, the adrenaline, the raised eyebrows, a spark of recognition from grainy profile pictures, and that same old question, you look much older. Yes, I'm a veteran of first dates. Just hadn't had any second ones yet. I imagine myself sensuous and tempting. There's a huge dribble of dried toothpaste spit on my tank top. I lick a napkin and rub on it just as he approaches. Kevin, I ask. Horny stud robot 69, he asks. We chat by candlelight. What do you want, he asks. I tell him love, adoration, companionship, and hot, steamy, rampant, throbbing passion, lustful, ferocious, and ever so dirty. And he replies that he was thinking of having the risotto. He's handsome, he's kind, he hardly flinches at all when I sneeze on the crusty bread basket. I undress him with my eyes, but only get as far as his left shoe. What are you doing down there, he asks. His voice is like honey oozing down a Kalashnikov. His skin is like porcelain painted by a pre-Raphaelite. His nose is like a turbot. Well, I suppose you can't have everything. He wants me. I can see it in his eyes. He wants to leave right now with me. He keeps looking at the fire exit. It's the same look I saw in that goat just before it was flattened by my Uber driver. He wants me. There's a yearning deep within. He wants to say something, but I tell him not to jinx the night before things heat up. He says, your sleeve is in the candle. He lowers his voice and tells me he likes his sex to be like a Sunday roast. I say, you mean piping hot, drizzled with gravy, bunged in the oven and stuffed? And he says, no, something that only happens once a week. He says, whenever I'm with a handsome man, I get all nervous. And every question I'm asked, I answer monosyllabically. And I say, do you really? And he replies, undoubtedly. Shall we do it, I ask? Yes, he says. Shall we do this, I ask? Yes, he says. Shall we lose ourselves to the passion, I ask? Yes, he says. Then he adds, do you mind if my sister joins in? And I say, all right then. So I'm just going to leave you now with this question. Why are the Three Musketeers called the Three Musketeers when there's four of them and they don't use muskets?